Hi, I'm Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds and created Dirty Lazy Keto. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy the show. We are going to have so much fun today, you guys, because we're going to be talking about a typical day on Dirty Lazy Keto. Like, what does that look like? What do I eat in a day? A lot of people ask me that question, and I'm always like, do I really want to tell people? You guys, I might be a little embarrassed. You know, it's kind of a vulnerable thing to tell people what you eat all day. I don't want people to judge me or think, man, she eats a lot of food. Or, whoa, she eats a lot of dirty keto stuff. Or, man, she's kind of lazy. So I'm going to put myself out there for the sake of helping you. I'm going to show you exactly what a typical day in my life looks like in terms of low carb eating. It's true. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to show you. I have lots of show and tell here in the office. I have 3 buckets of food because apparently that's how much I eat in a day. I know. So embarrassing. But before we get started, I just want to point out a few key observations that I'm sure you'll pick up on, but just in case, I don't want you to miss these. But first of all, like I said, you'll notice I eat quite a bit and I eat often. So try not to laugh. You'll also notice I personally eat a lot of low carb, cruciferous, high fiber vegetables. I love them. I feel like the vegetables are the secret, the key, the magic elixir to weight loss on Dirty Lazy Keto. And that's why at the bottom of the DLK pyramid, you'll see the fats and the low carb veggies and the protein. They're all pretty much together there at the bottom. There's a reason why, because it works. They fill you up, and that way you're not eating a bunch of other stuff, like keto snacks, right? Like when I say keto snacks, I mean commercial snacks. So there's a reason for my madness, people. It's true. You'll notice that my dirty keto style and does include a lot of artificial sweeteners. That's my choice. I drink diet soda. I have products with chemicals, with words I can't pronounce. That's up to me. You don't have to do that. You can still do Dirty Lazy Keto and eat clean or whatever you guys see fit. That's fine. It's up to you. And when you hear me talking about lazy keto, for me, that personally means I only track net carbs. I get asked that question a lot. Do I track total carbs or net carbs? There's a whole video about that, but just as a reminder, I only track net carbs. And I'm not a stickler for one number. I think for me, that would set me up for failure. Instead, I like a range. I like a little wiggle room. That way, if one day I'm super hungry, another day I'm not as hungry, I can eat more, eat less, and I'm still successful. I feel like that is a real secret behind Dirty Lazy Keto, is allowing yourself a little space to be you. That matters. Personally, I take a ton of shortcuts, so that's part of lazy keto for me. I think convenience matters. Even though I wrote 4 cookbooks, I'm not always in the kitchen making everything from scratch. So I'm going to show you a lot of the shortcuts that I typically do on any given day. You'll also notice that my protein is just kind of thrown in there at every meal. It's not something I obsess about. I'm not counting the grams and being all blah, 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 blah with the macros. It's just there. You'll also notice that I use fats just to make my food taste good, but I'm not eating a ton of fat just because it's fat. That's what differs me from strict keto, where they have like goals and ratios and quantities and graphs. I don't want anything to do with that. I want it simple. And if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. I'm not just shoving fat in there for no reason. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not perfect with my choices, and that's okay. Because guess what? Dirty Lazy Keto works for me. Did I babble enough? I want to show you my before and after picture because I want you guys to trust me that I'm the real deal. Here it is. I know. It's unbelievable to me to see my shoulders. But this is the real food that I've been eating while I was losing 140 pounds. This is the type of food I eat to maintain my weight loss. And I'm sure that the amount of net carbs has changed during my journey. But I just picked out kind of what I normally eat like this week. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Because I feel like this lifestyle is sustainable. And that's why I do all these embarrassing videos. It's true. So here we go. I'm going to just keep it simple. No fancy recipes today. We're just going to go with the kind of the basics. That way you can go, oh yeah, that's not that difficult. That is the goal for today. I want you to be inspired. Also, I hope that you interact. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. That's on purpose. I would like you to participate as much as me. I will, of course, pick a random winner from the comments to win a fun DLK prize. So keep typing, keep sharing as much as possible. Should we start? Should I stop talking? I know. Okay, so let's start off with breakfast. Now, Mama needs some coffee in the morning. Okay, this is me. This is my giant cup of coffee that I got from Ross. It's so cute. But I generally have 2 giant mugfuls of black coffee in the morning. I know, I'm such a rebel. A lot of you out there might be having bulletproof coffee. That's fine. You do you. But for me, I would prefer to eat my carbs. I'm always a big fan of food. So for me, I just refill this twice with plain old black coffee, and I'm good to go. Then I'm awake. But you have to do you. If that's not, in the cards for you, then that's okay. Doesn't matter. Next up, I'm going to have my breakfast. Now, a typical breakfast to me is going to be Fage 5% full-fat yogurt. And this is 5% milk fat. Is it Greek? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's Fage and it's fabulous. I love it. It has 3/4 cup for a generous serving, and that's for 5 grams of net carbs. So for me, that's quite a bit of food. Now, instead of getting out a measuring cup and all that stuff, which is super boring, and I don't have time for that, I use the same bowl every day to serve myself. And I know this bowl is 1 cup. So if I fill it 3/4 of the way, I can tell that's approximately 3/4 cup. Now, I'm not measuring because that's boring. I don't have time for that. I'm in a hurry. And just keep in mind that regular yogurt, like, the kind our kids like, the strawberry kind with flavors, those are generally like 17 grams per serving. I know. This is only 5. So for me, even though it's dairy, I limit myself on dairy because I know it can be caloric and easy to overdo. But for me, breakfast is so important. I like to kind of have a sundae for breakfast. So what I do with my yogurt, because it's really boring and plain, fresh out the gate, I add a little dash of vanilla. And I get this at Costco. It is like kind of expensive, but I love it. I mean, look how much I've used. Isn't that crazy? So I just do a little poot. That's a cooking word. Are you laughing? My poots. So I put some vanilla in. I don't measure it. And then I get a whole, handful of these artificial sweeteners, whatever I have on hand. You do you. If there's one you like, then use that one. You don't have to do me. Okay, now don't judge, but I'm going to take 4 of these. This is why I didn't want to do the video. You guys are all, oh my gerb, she's crazy. 4 sweeteners? That's me. I'm turning red. So here I am with my Fage yogurt, my 4 sweeteners. If I'm wild and crazy, I might even do 5. I know. And I put my vanilla in there. My goal here is to create like a vanilla, I don't know, pudding cake type thing. Right? It sounds yummy. I've even shared in some of my books how I'll do cocoa powder in here. I've played around with additives like, like from Walmart, you can get like cake batter, cheesecake, artificial little flavoring things, and you can make it really taste good. I told you not to judge. I'm showing you who I am today. Now, a sundae isn't delicious enough unless you have a topping. So my yogurt is too boring alone. For me, I'm probably going to add a small handful of macadamia nuts. They're my favorite. They're a special treat for me. And they're very low in carb. There's a lot of nuts to choose from, but these just happen to be delicious. Get them at Costco. It's 2 grams of net carbs per 1/4 cup. Now, do I measure? No. I just reach in casually. And I remind myself a 1/4 cup is not very much. And I just pull out a small handful and top my yogurt. Visually, to me, this reminds me of cookie dough, right? Like cookie dough ice cream at the yogurt mill, something like that. I just love the way it looks and tastes. Now, if I'm not in the mood for a salty kind of morning sundae, then sometimes I want something sweet. and I'll top my yogurt with a little bit of fresh fruit. My low carb fruit of choice is strawberries. I love the way they smell, and they're very low in carb. You know, they can be like, 8 to 10 grams of net carbs per 1 cup serving, depending on what brand you shop or, store, if they're frozen or fresh. I don't need a whole cup. I'll just cut up like 1 or 2, dice it really small, sprinkle it over the top. I mean, really the smell and the color, it's just to die for. So that is my breakfast, you guys. I have been known to get a little obsessed with chocolate chips, sugar-free, like from Lily's or, I don't know, Chalk Zero, even Hershey's sometimes. Sometimes I'll get addicted to those and sprinkle those on as well. But I have to rein that in because I get out of control. It's delicious. You could even freeze that. Remind me this is here. I don't want to forget about that. That's for tomorrow. Okay, so that's my breakfast. Pretty simple, right? I eat that probably more often than I would care to admit. I get crazy when I run out of my Faya yogurt. I'm all, I'm out of yogurt. Like, I'll panic. Be driving to the store late at night because it's just so yummy. Now, what do you have for breakfast? I know I went on and on about my little breakfast, but could you please type in the comments what you like to have on Dirty Lazy Keto to start your day off? Please share and be specific because not everybody likes my yogurt. People might want some ideas and they're going to look to your comments and go, that's a good one. So please share what you do. Now, soon after I eat breakfast and have my, 5 gallons of coffee, I am ready and wide awake, ready for exercise. I like to do my activity first thing in the morning. I don't like to, but I do it because that way it's done. And it's my priority in life, it's my health. So before I do anything, go to work, talk to people, write, get on a podcast, do social media. Before I do anything, I get that exercise out of the way. It's most important to me. Now, depending on how much I exercise, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 60 minutes. I come home and I'm always thirsty. I'm like, woo, just worked out. And y'all know that when you're in ketosis, you become a little bit more thirstier than the normal person. So I make sure to have cold Powerade, sugar-free Gatorade, some kind of electrolyte drink like Propel. I have this in my fridge, so when I get home, I can replenish those electrolytes that I just lost from exercise, in addition to being in ketosis. So I take that very seriously. And I'll drink one of these right when I get home from my run or my power walk or my yoga or trip to the gym or whatever it is I'm doing. Now, if I do like a serious workout, like more than an hour, hour and a half, which isn't that often, let's be real. Not these days anyway, I've been a little lazy. But if I do a bigger workout, I'm ready for a second breakfast when I get home. Now, yes, I told you this would be embarrassing. Does anyone else have a second breakfast? Or is it just me? I call it second breakfast because I think I saw a fast food commercial one time and it made me laugh, talking about second dinner, second breakfast. I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. My second breakfast is always a scrambled egg, 1 or 2, and then I add some slices of fresh avocado. And that way I'm getting some healthy fat, some more protein, and I'm ready to go. That's it. Simple, right? So far, are you with me? What are you having for your second breakfast? Tell me what you're having so I'm not feeling so embarrassed. Now, let's move on a little bit more later in the morning. I do get up early, so that could have something to do with it. But I'm always hungry, so I'm ready to go. It's time for a snack. Doesn't matter where I'm at in life. Sometimes I'm not even hungry, but it's habit. So I want to have a morning snack, and that's okay. I don't have to just eat because it's mealtime. For me, I like to eat all the time. So lately, I've been super obsessed with cucumbers. So random. I don't know why. But I love cucumbers. I think they're in season in my area, and they're super cheap, and they're available at roadside stands. So I just keep buying them. And they're so cheap. They're like, I don't know, 10 for $1. 10 for $10. It seems cheap to me. They're like $1 each. But they're so crisp and fresh. So what I do is I cut up my cucumbers. I don't peel them. You can if you want. I just slice them up into little tiny bites, little pieces. I don't peel them, just slice it down the middle, and then into little tiny pieces. This is about 1 cucumber diced up. That's funny that I'm eating right now. So for my morning snack, I'll have 1 or 2 cucumbers, depending on how hungry I am. And what I do, because that's boring to just eat it like this. So what I do, again with the sweetener, don't judge. I'll grab another round of, I'll be honest, maybe another 4 sweeteners. Whatever I have on hand. Doesn't have to be a specific brand. You do the one that you like. Or not at all. You don't have to have all these things, but I personally think it tastes so good. Reminds me of the salad at Benihana, if you've ever been there. It's kind of got like a little twang to it, what I'm going to do. So I add a bunch of sweetener on top. And then, I'm reaching in my magic thing here. I'm looking for, oh, here it is. Then I'm going to add myself a little splash of vinegar. Now, when I say splash, like maybe a tablespoon or 2. I don't really measure it. I just kind of go. Now, those 2 things combined, the vinegar and the artificial sweetener, create like a delicious kind of dressing or coating. It's so good. And I'll just stir this up. I got to get my spoon over here. Just kind of stir this up, get it all nice and coated. And then comes the best part. I will top my little cucumber salad with about a 1/4 cup of full-fat feta crumbles. Oh my goodness. I cannot even tell you how delicious this is. So simple, very inexpensive. I buy my feta cheese at Costco. If you have a Costco, they have the best prices. It's like $7 at Costco, but at Safeway, this is $11. Too much, because I go through it like crazy. And then I just sprinkle. I don't really measure. I just can kind of tell. If I have a nice coating of feta, then I know I'm doing good. Ta-da! And that, my friends, is my infamous cucumber salad that I'm obsessed with. It is so good. Now, if I'm starving to death, I'll eat 2 bowls of these. I'll go back and cut up a whole second cucumber. Really? Is this what made me overweight before? No. Let me answer that for you in case you were wondering. I was not, weighing almost 300 pounds from overeating cucumbers. So don't ever stress about eating fresh vegetables. Eat as much of them as you want. Write that down. Now, mind you, the whole time during my morning, I am drinking a lot of flavored water. I don't like plain water. I know. Whatever. I don't really care. You do you. If you want plain water, drink that. But for me, I'm drinking more and more throughout the day. Always. For me, it fills me up and it helps my digestion. And I feel better. I get less headaches. I feel like better skin. Water is good, especially when you're in ketosis. Okay, now we're heading toward lunch. Must be time to eat again. Are you guys cracking up at how much food I eat? I know, it's embarrassing. So lunch to me, I don't always just sit down and eat a lunch. Sometimes I just kind of graze, especially if I'm out at work and driving around, or if I'm home, if it's the weekend and I'm just around the house. My lunch and afternoon snacks kind of all blur together. That's okay. I don't feel like I have to sit down and have it all formal. I just eat when I'm hungry and then sometimes eat when I'm not. Don't judge. Another one of my favorite lunches or afternoon snacks. And you guys see this on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures of my artichokes. I love artichokes. This is a really good size one that I got at Walmart. I know, isn't it great? And they're so easy to cook, you guys. Don't be afraid of artichokes. You just basically cut the top off here with a nice sharp knife. Cut a little bit off the stem. And then what I do is I put it in my Instant Pot, my pressure cooker on high for 23 minutes for a big one, maybe 22 minutes for a smaller one. If you really think it's too tough, you can always cut it in half down the middle. But you want the leaves when you're done cooking it to be able to just pull off super easily like that. Now, eating an artichoke plain would be terrible and boring. So for me, I get myself a little bowl of mayonnaise on the side. Love mayonnaise. Don't judge. And There's not too much left in here, but this is what I happened to have yesterday from leftovers. So I would probably add a little bit more mayonnaise. And I like to spice it up. I would put in some lemon juice maybe, or some garlic. I might put in hot sauce. You can also mix mayo with pesto from Costco again. Makes a delicious dressing. And you just dip your leaf while you're watching TV or whatever you're doing at the computer, and you scrape the upper part of the leaf on your upper teeth. Okay, like this. I'm going to be real classy and show you. Like that. That's all there is to it. So I'll do it again. Seriously, people ask the question about the artichoke all the time. Take your leaf, dip the little bit in the mayonnaise or butter, whatever you like. Tell us what you do with your artichokes. I'd like to know your tips. Then scrape it on your teeth. That's it. And then you throw those away. This is a great little snack to do when you're zoning out and watching TV. Like I used to eat a lot of chips. Obviously, I don't want to do that anymore. So eating some kind of mindless food like this keeps me happy, keeps me full. It's low carb. I feel like it's healthy. And I don't feel guilty. I can entertain myself, if you will. That's okay. You can eat for other reasons beyond being hungry. And I know some people will get mad at me for saying that, but that's what makes Dirty Lazy Keto doable and real. So we're not putting on airs and pretending to be perfect people, because we're not. Now here's something else. At lunchtime, I always try to add a little protein with my meals. So maybe I had some leftover chicken from the night before. Obviously, this one's not cooked because I ate all my chicken before our podcast today. But I might have a little leftover food from yesterday. And if I don't have any leftover meat, just a few bites, then I might grab some lunch meat. I'm not too picky, but I am certain to have a little bit of protein with my lunch or afternoon snack. That way it'll tide me over to the next meal. Now I mentioned about the flavored waters. And I'll show you, I have all sorts of favorite flavors, but you can get these at the dollar store for a lot cheaper than you can at the grocery store. So I know you may not have a dollar store. Don't write me all angry, but I'm sure you have something. Walmart, even Amazon, you can order these either in the sticks, which do contain a bunch of horrible chemicals, or you can get the little squirters or Propel. Yes, you can cut up lemon and be perfect. I'm not going to be that perfect person. I'm going to have my little Kool-Aid flavors and be happy. Don't judge. So a few hours have gone by. Now it's the later in the afternoon, right? And maybe I had a half an artichoke. Maybe I had the whole artichoke. Depends. But in a few hours, when I'm ready for another something to eat, I'm going to reach toward my favorite snack in the whole world. Now, I can make these by myself very easily. And I've shown the video on Instagram. If you want to learn how, it's like a 30-second video. I show you super easy how to make these from scratch. But as you can see with the big $5 price tag, I love as a special treat to buy these at the deli pre-made. I know, it's so scandalous of me. But really, this tickles my heart. It makes me so happy. It's like back in the olden days, I must have thought this was like a cupcake. But now for me, I look at this and it kind of looks like a little cupcake. I bake these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And they're so good. I cannot stand it. Delicious. My husband will be like, "Can I have one?" I'm all, bam, slap his hand. If he's being really nice, I'll share. But I really love and covet those stuffed mushrooms. So what did you have for lunch today? What did you have yesterday? I know I kind of shared my off-the-wall ideas, perhaps that maybe you never thought of. But tell me and the group, tell us what you had for lunch yesterday or the day before. And maybe someone will think that's a cool idea and they'll try it. We have to help each other, right? All right, I'm going to move on to dinner. Because we've already had our breakfast, maybe second breakfast. We had our lunch, our afternoon snack. So now it's dinner time. We're always thinking about food, right? Now at dinner time, I'm going to give you a couple different choices of what I normally do. Pretty often these days, I've been using my air fryer to cook fish. Because it's so easy, right? You can cook a piece of fish in 12 minutes at 400 degrees in an air fryer. Simple. You can also do chicken from frozen in the air fryer. Love it. And then I'll also microwave a bag of vegetables directly in a package. amazing. And my kids love this stuff. These are just green beans, but these also come in broccoli, cauliflower, green beans. I said Brussels sprouts, green beans. There's a lot of fun little options. So we do that all the time. And if I don't feel like cooking the chicken, I buy a rotisserie chicken. Told you I'd tell you all my secrets. Easy, easy, easy. Smack a little butter or pesto sauce or Alfredo sauce on whatever you're cooking there when you serve it up. And boom, you've got a complete meal. Now last night I did a little bit extra work because I knew I was going to be on today and I didn't want to embarrass myself. You guys would be judging me like, girl, she wrote cookbooks and she's eating rotisserie chickens. So I figured I had to show you some hard-working food. Now these are some homemade chicken strips that I made. I'll hold up one to the camera. I know, don't they look like breadsticks from Pizza Hut, kind of? But they're not. These are breaded chicken strips. And you can find my recipe for these in 2 different places. Copycat Chicken inside the Dirty Lazy Keto 5-ingredient cookbook on page 147. Okay, that is a wonderful recipe for this deliciousness. You can see right here that I just made the chicken part and I cut it into strips, but this picture shows it with a chaffle. So you can do it that way. Or if you want a different way, not in the air fryer, maybe you don't have one. I have another recipe for like a fried chicken. I call it KFC. It's funny, right? Kentucky Fried Chicken. And this is in the original Dirty Lazy Keto cookbook, the first cookbook. There's 4. This is the first one. And this recipe is on page 147. And look at that. Woo-wee, fried chicken. And your chicken strips or fried chicken, depends on how you just cut the chicken, right? It's all the same. Anyway, I've got a ton of great recipes to help you guys out if that's what you need help with. Or if you don't feel like cooking, buy the rotisserie chicken. Cut a corner. I love to make these chicken strips because my kids will eat them. For some reason, finger food is more appealing to them. They love it. And you cannot make your chicken strips without some ranch dressing. We don't want any sugar-free situations, right? You buy ketchup and you think, oh, that's no big deal. But then ketchup's full of sugar. Even the no sugar added ketchup still has carbs. So personally, I like ranch. And yes, you can buy it at the store, which is fine. But I have a wonderful recipe for, it's called the Pickle Tickle Ranch Dressing. I know the name. You'll understand why once you read the story. But it's a great recipe. It's on page 83 of the 5-ingredient cookbook for homemade ranch dressing. Pickle Tickle Ranch. Sorry. I'm trying to make you laugh. Is it working? So after I made my fried chicken, which is not really fried, I made that one in the air fryer. And I made the dip. Then I put together a salad to go with it. Now, yes, you can do something simple like we talked about where you microwave green beans. Easy. But this is a little bit more complicated. It has like 4 steps, so bear with me. And this is actually the lawnmower salad, which is on page 77 of the original cookbook. And I ate half of it yesterday, so here's the other half. This is 2 servings worth. And it's delicious. It's one of my favorites. And I like it because you can eat a lot, because I'm a big eater. Did I mention that? And again, it is on page, because I know you're going to email me and ask. It's in the original cookbook on page 77. It's called Lawnmower Chicken. Lawnmower Salad. It's right there. Okay. And there it is. And this is kind of how you make it. I'll just give you the highlights. I buy a bag of broccoli slaw at Walmart or the grocery store. Like $2 a bag. Serves 4 each bag. And then I chop up a little bit of red onion to go with it. And then a little splash of some vinegar again. And some mayonnaise. You can tell I like mayonnaise. It's an easy fat, right? It's always available. And then I blend it all up. Ta-da! Make a salad. Everyone in my family loves it. It's like coleslaw, basically, with a funner name. But before I serve my coleslaw, I will top it with crumbled bacon bits, which I have here in a bag to show you, and a serving of sunflower seeds, right? Because you gotta have a little saltiness with your sweet. Then it tastes amazing. Trust me. This is one of my all-time favorite foods to eat on Dirty Lazy Keto. I eat it all the time. That's why it was in the first cookbook, because I'm like, didn't know there'd be more. I had no idea there'd be 4 books. So I gave away all the things I ate and right away, because I want you to know. So that's my lawnmower salad. Tell me what you eat for dinner on a normal day. Don't be fancy. I showed you kind of my 2 regular days. What are you eating for dinner on Dirty Lazy Keto? And I hope that you will share your routine. Give us some ideas. Like, just tell us what you had last night. Please. It's very helpful. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, what about the dessert? Did we not do the dessert? Yes, we're going to do dessert. Are you crazy? We're going to do dessert, people. Now, again, this is from one of the cookbooks. I'm going to show you how, well, I'll put a link to a real video that shows you how to make the Taco Bell strawberry freeze. It's a 1-minute video, and it's very well done. But I'll just kind of hold up the ingredients here in the office. But we are going to make, this would be the strawberry. Here we go. Taco Bell strawberry freeze. Here you go. There's a picture of it there. And I eat dessert every night. It's true. Every night I make this. I buy the Jell-O in bulk from Amazon because I love it. And it's not like ice, like a keto ice cream, which is so caloric and, probably going to cause potentially some weight gain if you can't, stop after one serving. At least that's how it is for me. I shouldn't say that for everybody. It's just, I have trouble with that one. I'd rather have something a little bit less calories and less carbs. So I take my little blender thing you do, and I'll just kind of pretend here. And I'm going to add 2 cups of chopped ice, crushed ice, whatever you got. 2 cups. Always 2 cups. Don't get crazy and add more, and then you have trouble. I'm going to add a diet soda of my choice. I'm holding up a can here of diet orange soda. You can use whatever you got. It doesn't matter. And also a packet of sugar-free gelatin. Doesn't have to be Jell-O brand. It can be an off-brand. It can be any flavor. I love lemon. Hard to find. If you ever want to send me a Christmas gift, send me sugar-free lemon powder Jell-O. I love it. Love it, love it. But obviously in the recipe I call for strawberry. You can use whatever you like. You just dump the whole package in of the Jell-O, 2 cups of ice, a can of soda, and then a little splash of heavy whipping cream. Just a splash, not too much. I've already had my dairy first thing this morning, right? And I'm going to limit my dairy. It's at the top of the pyramid. Just a splash of that is all you need, and blend it all up, and you're going to have an amazing dessert that you can just sit there with your spoon and watch TV and relax. That's what I do. And it makes me happy. I don't feel deprived. I'm having a fun little treat after dinner. I love it. Now, after dinner, I've decided, for me, that that's it. The kitchen is closed. I clean everything up. I put everything away. And that's it for me. Why do I do that? Now, you can be all fancy and call it intermittent fasting if you'd like. Or you can just call it, the kitchen is closed. Steffi is done eating. She's eaten enough, clearly. Y'all saw all the food I ate all day long. And it's time to put a stop to it. For me, I sleep better at night when I have a cutoff right after dinner. And let's be real, no good decision ever happens late at night with eating. So for me, I just cut it all together, and having that off switch is really helpful for me. And it's worked. That's part of what is one of my secrets to success. Now, if I'm hungry and munchy and getting a little fidgety, I'll either try to go for a walk. I'll have maybe a cup of hot water, bouillon, tea, or my secret weapon, which everyone knows how addicted I am to sugar-free gum. This one's my favorite. I do order it by the case from Amazon. I know. So embarrassing. But I love the sugar-free spearmint, wintergreen, whatever this is, flavor. I love it. I'll sit and just chew it, spit it out, chew it, spit it out. I know. So embarrassing. Turning red, people. The things I do. But you know what? It works. And it curbs my appetite. My dentist actually told me it's good for me. My dentist told me it has something to do with mastification, where it stimulates enzymes and encourages digestion of food. Who knew? I'll even, if that doesn't work, I'll sit there and pick my teeth with one of my little flossers. I know, so embarrassing. TMI. Well, let me know if you practice intermittent fasting and what benefits it gives you. You know, share with the group when your cutoff is and when you start eating again the next day. Because you know what's working for you might really help someone that's watching and listening. But the biggest message today, folks, is that weight loss, dirty, lazy keto, what you eat on a daily basis, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. And that's okay. You have to remember that your gender, your age, your activity level, your hormone situation, maybe even medical conditions or medication that you're taking, those all influence your weight loss, and it strongly affects how much you can eat, how many net carbs you can tolerate while still losing weight. So you have to do you. You can't just do Stephanie. You got to do you. That's what's most important. So I hope that if you haven't already, left comments, got involved in the video today, you did some thumbs ups, you did some comments, you shared. You know, don't be scared to participate. I think we're in this together, and I am here to support you because I know transformation is possible, but only when you jump in both feet and you believe and you work hard and you keep at it. It's true. So I want to give everybody a round of applause for staying to the whole video. Can I give you a double round of applause? Because it matters. You're doing great. So keep up the good work, everybody. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. So if you found today's video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and then subscribe to the Dirty Lazy Keto YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications so you'll never miss an update. You can also find me on Instagram at Dirty Lazy Keto. And for more information about any of my support groups or any of my books, you can always go to dirtylazyketo.com for more information. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help. I know you can do it.